Let's see which one stands out. If high-speed internet connectivity around your whole house is what you're looking for, you came to the right place. We got the REYEE AX5000 RGE4 next-gen gigabit Wi-Fi 6 router. The REYEE E4 router features higher network efficiency, faster Wi-Fi speeds, and also greater Wi-Fi coverage, overall providing a significantly better networking experience for users. As far as that extended coverage goes, they are saying it does have better performance compared to their main competitor, the TP-Link Archer AX3000. Wink wink, we'll get to that in a second. Now in order to actually do that, they do have reliable signal boosting, including 5 high gain antennas, 5 high powered front end modules, and they are beamforming to provide that extra coverage. Now coverage and other specs aside, this is a great router when it comes to gaming because it has a bunch of built-in gaming features that any competitive gamer is gonna love, such as auto bandwidth control to suppress high bandwidth usage applications to allow for an uninterrupted gaming experience, a separate 2402 megabits per second Wi-Fi network specifically for gaming, so you can have your gaming console connected to that all by itself so there's no interference from other devices. As well as quality of service settings so you can prioritize the gaming console or PC so it can have the most connectivity when it's needed. Now I know I moved on from specs, but I got a couple more that I feel like are worth mentioning, including a dual core flagship chipset, 120 megahertz channel width, dual WAN aggregation, REYEE Mesh 3.0 support so you can easily mesh together a network with a bunch of different REYEE routers so you can have coverage everywhere. Even though this one is gonna reach a pretty good distance on its own, a mesh network is definitely a good way to go. So with all that being said, let's get inside, see what we got. What are we working with here? How are we gonna be gaming? Ow! That hurt. Now moving on, the packaging does look very nice. Nice artwork, great colors, great design. Just look at all this high-tech efficiency stuff we got showing up here on the back. One-clish REYEE mesh. Love that feature. Love it. Love it. Now getting inside the box, let's see what we got. Of course, we do have a quick installation guide, an Ethernet cable, a power cable, and the REYEE E4 router itself. Very slim profile, light in weight. Now taking a look at the router itself, like I said, very slim design. As you can see, we do have our 5 antennas that are easily adjustable to your needs so you can get the greatest coverage possible. Nice display here. Nice little display here. Ooh, I love the gold accents on this matte black design. Looks great. Coming over here on the bottom, as you can see, a very, very, very simple design here. Not much to see. We do have 2 little inputs here, so you can actually mount this to a wall or a ceiling with some screws if you want to keep it out of the way. Now over here on the back is where things start getting a little more interesting. We do have 4 Ethernet ports. The first 3 right here are to connect your favorite devices, along with the WAN port to connect your modem. And as you can see, these 2 ports can both act as WAN ports for aggregation. Next up over here, we do have our DC input, a reset pinhole, as well as the one-touch mesh setup. Very cool feature that works with all the other REYEE routers. And as you can see, very, very simple design. Lots of ventilation here. They're gonna keep things nice and cool and lightweight, looks great. So now getting your router and network set up is gonna be a very simple process. You're gonna download the REYEE router app and open it up, create your account, all that good stuff. Once we're in here, we're gonna tap on add to add a router, and right here is where things get cool. You can either set up a new network if you're just starting from scratch, or you can actually add this new router as a satellite to connect it to your other REYEE routers to have that mesh network set up. But we're gonna just start off with a brand new network. We're gonna make sure the router is powered on and connected to the WAN port, to our modem, get connected, and now we're gonna go to the Wi-Fi list and connect to the Wi-Fi network that's being emitted from the router. And here it is, the REYEE S4F63. We're gonna join the network, and now it's detecting everything, and we're connected to the internet, so everything's ready to go. Here you're able to enable Smart Connect, so it'll have a dual band network, so it'll be both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz on one SSID. You can have that so it'll automatically put the correct devices on each network, or you can make 2 separate networks if you want to. So as you can see right here, we do have our SSID for the 2.4 gigahertz network, which is going to be for wide coverage but lower speeds. Then next up, we have our 5 gigahertz networks for high speeds but limited coverage. But all the way at the bottom right there, woo, the 5 gigahertz gaming network dedicated for gaming. Love it. We're going to tap on next. And just like that, all 3 of our networks have been successfully connected. And now that we got everything set up, as you can see, the app is very straightforward, to the point, and easy to use with a lot of great features that I like to see. As you can see, our current network is normal, and you can actually see the current upload and download bandwidth that is being used on the network. As you can see, we have 4 bits per second going up, 1.8 bits per second going down, and then we can even see the current network latency, which is currently at 38.7 milliseconds with a 0% packet loss rate. Very cool to see all this information at a glance. Down here we see our gaming Wi-Fi network, priority devices, so you can set your gaming console or literally any other device that you want to have priority data right there, so it's always in the lead. We have auto bandwidth control to automatically suppress high traffic applications so you don't lag in your online games, because that sucks when someone starts downloading some movies or something, you're trying to game and your ping starts shooting up. Now down here at the bottom we do have scenarios. So if we tap on that, we have a couple different options here, including parental control, another network for guest Wi-Fi, so your guests can have their own separate networks, so they're not bogging down your network and getting access to all your data. Then we also have healthy mode, which is actually a very cool feature because you can actually limit the radiation that's being emitted from the router, which will also reduce the signal strength. You know, give and take. Next up, we have Internet of Things Wi-Fi, which is another feature I love. It makes a separate 2.4 gigahertz network for all your smart devices, so you don't have to put them on your other 2.4 gigahertz network. That way, you know, everything can run smoothly because they're not sharing all the same network. Then next up, we do have Game Turbo to improve the utilization of public channels and reduce the latency caused by wireless interference and provide a faster internet browsing experience. You can actually set that up for each network. And then we also have a block list to block devices from connecting to your networks. And then over here, all the way on the right side, we have the settings. So right here, we can change the Wi-Fi credentials for each of the different networks and see them all at a glance. Down here in the middle, we do have some common features such as a speed test, diagnose button, optimize, reboot, which you should do every so often, LEDs if you want them on or off on the router, as well as updating the firmware. And then of course, all the way at the bottom, we have advanced settings. So in here, we have Wi-Fi signal strength. So right here, you can actually adjust how much Wi-Fi signal strength you want, whether it's eco mode, normal mode, or through wall mode. Of course, through wall mode is gonna have the best penetration and range. So if you wanna have it, turn that on. Then of course we have management password to get inside the administration settings of the router. We have LAN config and all this other stuff, including open VPN. So you can have a VPN built into your router so you don't have to have it on your client devices. Everything that connects to the router is gonna be covered by that VPN. Love that feature. We have schedule reboot, so you can have it scheduled to reboot every week at a certain time, maybe when everyone's sleeping, so it's always ready to go, clearing out that cache. As well as port aggregation to combine LAN 3 and LAN 4 together, up to 2 gigabits per second can be provided. You know what, Rodrick, let me take it from here because I actually have the TP-Link Archer AX3000 and I'm gonna put it head to head with the REYEE E4 to see which one is actually better. As you can see, they both have a similar design with a very slim profile, although the TP-Link does only have 4 antennas while the REYEE does have 5. Let's see which one stands out. And of course, to start, we're gonna be in the exact room with the router so we can see exactly where we stand. And taking a look at these results, it looks like the REYEE E4 does have a slight edge with each metric, including download and upload speeds, as well as the ping when in 5 gigahertz mode. And if we take a look at 2.4 gigahertz mode, we have an even bigger advantage with the REYEE, which is pretty insane. But to be fair, we are in the same room with the routers. So what if we made our way over to the home theater? Here it appears that although the download speeds are very similar, the upload speed of the REYEE is a whopping 10 times faster than the TP-Link on 5 gigahertz. That's incredible. But then there's the downstairs dining area, which to be honest is one of the worst areas in my house when it comes to internet connectivity because there's walls, ceilings, floors, and everything in between because we are on exact opposite ends, about 200 feet with all those obstacles. But once again, the results are very similar as far as download speeds go, but the REYEE is the clear winner when it comes to upload speeds while also having full bars of coverage compared to the TP-Link's 2/3. But of course, we have to come back and check the living room because this is where a lot of people happen to spend their time. Although, you know, layouts are gonna be different. We are still roughly about 180 feet away through a bunch of obstacles going to the router, including walls, ceilings, floors, electronics, all that stuff. Now, this is impressive because here we are getting an insane 33% increase as far as the download speed goes and 100% increase as far as the upload speed goes from the REYEE compared to the TP-Link. And that's on 5 gigahertz. And now where things get even more interesting is on the 2.4 gigahertz side of things because although the REYEE's results aren't remarkable by any means because they are under 2 megabits per second when it comes to the download speed, we are looking at a very terrible 0.1 megabits per second from the TP-Link, and then for some reason, this is the first time I've ever seen this happen on an active internet connection, but the upload speed kept failing constantly over and over and over. I couldn't get it to complete. What? So it looks like at this distance with the TP-Link, the 2.4 gigahertz network is virtually useless. I don't know. I can't explain it, honestly. Now, seeing these results are definitely impressive and just goes to show how good the REYEE E4 router actually is. I mean, I can't believe I wasn't able to have a solid connection on the 2.4 gigahertz network going only about 200 feet away through some obstacles. That's a first. But even that part aside, the 5 gigahertz network on the REYEE was superior to the TP-Link, especially when it came to the upload speed, which as a content creator is very, very important to me. The signal strength was stronger coming through all these obstacles on the REYEE compared to the TP-Link on all fronts. And really, I'm surprised with the results, also impressed and satisfied with what I am receiving as far as the REYEE E4 router goes. It's definitely a good router with a very small and slim form factor that does a great job going through obstacles and also going a good distance as far as range goes. It not only keeps the coverage good, but it also keeps the speed going as far as download and upload speed goes, including on the congested 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, which is very, very impressive.